Hi, today I'd like to show you how to make a crocheted butterfly. Starting off, I'm using a 4mm crochet hook, some blue yarn, a nice bodkin. This is what the butterfly will look like at the end. Taking your yarn, make a magic loop, like so. With your hook, go through the loop, pull the yarn through while holding these two together. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through twice. And one more time. Yarn over, pull through. This will give us our first double crochet. Leave enough tail so that you can tie down your loose ends at the end. We're going to do 8 groups of 3 separated by a chain, like so. Yarn over, through the loop, pull up, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2. Yarn over, through the loop, pull up, yarn through 2, yarn through 2. As you can see, this has given us 3 treble or double crochets. Now we're going to do 1 chain, and we're going to repeat this another 7 times, giving us a total of 8 groups of 3. Remembering it's important to leave that 1 chain gap, as we'll be needing that for the second round. Now we have 4 groups of 3. Separate with the chain. Make sure to keep checking how many groups you've done, as it's really important to have 8 for the butterfly to work correctly. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still keeping the tail there, and we're keeping this loop nice and loose. Separate with the chain and finish off your last group. Also crochet over the loose tail, and this will help secure it. Finishing off the last group of 3, we now have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do 1 more chain. Then we go into the top of that very first stitch we did, like so, and do a slip stitch. That means yarn over and pull it through both stitches until there's only 1 stitch remaining on the hook. At this point, turn your work over and you'll see the magic loop on the back. Holding onto your stitch so it doesn't come undone with the hook, pull this magic loop. Do it gently so the yarn doesn't snap, and what you'll find is that hole in the centre will get smaller. That should be fine. At this point, loosen the stitch a little, and making sure it doesn't come undone. Just tie your loose end to the yarn. Don't worry about this underneath because it will be hidden when you finish your butterfly. Just a simple knot will do. Like so. Leave the tail and we'll stitch that in at the end. Turning your work back over, pop your hook back in. It might seem a little ruffled at the moment, but that's because we have 8 groups of 3, a little bit like the beginning of a granny square, and we'll be folding it in half. Finding your gap, your first gap there, near the hook, slip your hook underneath, pull the yarn up, like so, and yarn through. Yarn through again, and this will create our first double crochet or treble of the second round. Chain 1 to take your work to the next space here. Yarn over, through the gap, yarn up, through 2, through 2. We're going to do 2 groups of 3 into each gap. 1, 2, and 3. To separate each group of 3, we're going to do 1 chain, like so. Now, into the same gap here, you're going to do another 3 stitches. Yarn over, through the loop, through 2, through 2. Yarn over, through the loop, through 2, through 2. Yarn over, through the loop, through 2, through 2. As you can see, this is very similar to a granny square, and what we're going to do into each of our 8 spaces is we're going to do 2 groups of 3 separated by a chain. Chain 1 to go to the next gap. There's our third group of 2 lots of 3. Chain 1, so we're essentially creating the equivalent of a granny square corner, but into each space. It will almost look like a star at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners, 1 chain, and into the next space.